Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, Heavensward. When last we left off, we defeated Lord Ravana, fourfold Master of the Blades and Lord of the Nath, and climbed atop the mighty through some all to reach, the Churning Mists, the Some All Summit. So let's get a move on. Beyond the clouds, Alphino ponders the means by which you might find Reisfelder. Now that we have scaled the mountain, there remains the problem of finding Reisfelder himself. Moogle. What manner of creature is that? Flee, tiny little fuzzball. Mox, do my eyes deceive me, or was that a Moogle? It was my understanding that they only dwelled within the Twelveswood. I certainly never expected to see one in the Churning Mists. If the Moogle does live here, however, he may know where Reisfelder makes his lair. Quickly now, before we lose the creature completely. Ah, he's gone. Marks, we must widen our search. Time to find us some Moogle. Etheric disturbance. The nearby air appears warped. You sense that concealing magics are at work. Yep. Where could he have gone? Yeah, all I'm seeing here are some giant funguses and rocks. I have heard tales of these Moogles, but it's the first time I've ever laid eyes on one. They're rather adorable, aren't they? What? Why do you stare at me so? Can I not find a creature adorable? My heart is not truly made of ice. A Moogle, did you say? I am unfamiliar with the breed, but I shall search for one nonetheless. I see no evidence of this Moogle of yours. It certainly wasn't a trick of the light. Mayhaps 'twas simply one of these strange plants shifting in the breeze. There is no sign of a Moogle in the area. Oh, drat, he got away. Oh, well, time to leave. I'm sure I glimpsed the Moogle fleeing in this direction. Could he be concealing himself with magic? Mountaintop diplomacy. Alphino seems convinced that the Moogles hold the key to finding Reisfelder. Confound it. Could we but enlist the aid of the local Moogles, I'm certain Reisfelder would not elude us for long. Though the eye enables me to sense the presence of dragons, I can only identify Nidhogg's with any certainty. We could wander the mists for days and not know if we are any closer to his brood brother. And those days are days we cannot well afford to squander. Shall we divide our forces then? Lady Zell, might I ask you to question any dragons whom you judge it safe to approach? I shall try. I fear the influence of Nidhogg's rage will render most of the Dravanians in the area deaf to reason. But what of you, Master Alphino? I have not yet given up on the Moogles. Marks, come with me to Gridania. I mean to petition the aid of the Moogles' kin in the Twelveswood. After that business with Mog, I dare say they will be glad to help us. Assuming you have no need of me, I shall remain here. Nidhogg senses both the loss of his consort and the coming of the Eye, and his attention is firmly fixed in this direction. I mean to do what I can to hold his gaze, in the hope that it might delay any action against Ishgard. Thank you, Estinian. Come then, Marks. Let us make haste for Gridania, and rendezvous at Nofikia's... I know how to pronounce that name. Nofikia's... No, I'm going to go with Nofikia's. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Nofikia's altar. But I neglected to tell you. There is an aetheryte at the ancient construction here, which should make the return journey rather less arduous. Pray do not forget to use it. I sent word to the Elder Seedseer upon arriving in Gridania, and I am pleased to report that she has agreed to grant us an audience. If anyone can help us contact the 12-Wood Moogles, it is she. We are expected at the Lotus Stand. I trust you are familiar with the conjurer stationed at its entrance. The Elder Seedseer awaits you. Pray follow me. I bid you welcome, friends. The Admiral spoke of having met with you, but 'tis no less a relief to see you safe and hale with my own eyes. We humbly thank you for agreeing to receive us upon such short notice, my lady, and for all that you have done for us in our absence. Would that it were solely to express our gratitude that we came to you this day. Alas, the tides of battle yet dictate our comings and goings. Elder Seedseer, we would beg your wisdom in a matter that may finally bring an end to the Dragonsong War. Speak on, friend. I see. You seek a means to contact these Moogles of the Churning Mists. Kupo-po-po, I say! Kupo! Greetings, Kuplokop. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I was struck by the sudden urge to bring you some fruit, Kane, and I'm jolly glad I did. Tell me more of these Moogles in the sky, Kupo. I will gladly tell you all I know, though it amounts to precious little. We encountered a Moogle high in the clouds of Dervania, and had hoped that you and your kin in the 12's might agree to facilitate a meeting. Pray, correct me if I am mistaken, Kuplo, but there are legends, are there not, which speak of Moogles which dwell beyond the clouds? Indeed there are, Kupo! Long, long ago, back when the world was still young, they say my ancestors served the gods up in the heavens. Of course, that was before the masters took to bickering like spoiled children. Ah, yes, the tale of good King Mog the 12th. He was revealed for holding fast to the rope of a miraculous length, that his subjects may climb down from the sky and escape to the world below. Not good with Roman numerals. Ugh. Ignoring the more fanciful aspects of the tale, it may well be that the Kuplo's ancestors hailed from the Churning Mists. Given how long his kin have resided in the 12's, it is perfectly possible that the details of their history have faded in a myth. Indeed, Master Alphino, such stories often contain a measure of truth. 'Tis like that the Moogles of the Churning Mists tell similar tales of the world below. I can well imagine why the one you encountered fled at your approach. Oh, fleeing second nature to us! We often hide when larger creatures come tramping through the forest. Of course, when there's one Moogle, there's bound to be more. Which is why I've decided to take a trip to the clouds, Kupo. They surely won't be afraid to talk to me. I was hoping you might say that, Master Kupla. Will you accompany us, then? Just you try and stop me, Kupo. I'll admit, the thought of venturing outside the 12 Woods is a bit unsettling, but I can hardly refuse a chance to meet my distant cousins. If you will have me, I too will accompany you on this venture, and lend my voice to your cause as an ambassador of Gridania. But, my lady, are you quite certain? How oft has our nation turned to the silence of the seventh dawn in its hour of need? How oft have we asked this warrior of light to risk his life to save our own? Full many times, I say to you, and never have they refused us. Thus do I choose this day to offer mine aid to our allies for the good of the realm. Is this not just? A most unexpected and most welcome offer, Elder Seedseer. We would be honored by your presence. Pray return to the summit and inform our companions of these developments. I will serve as Elder Seedseer's guide on the journey back to Samal. It being a path I have already trodden, I do not anticipate any great difficulties. Besides, we shall have the Elder Seedseer's personal guard to escort us. Well met, Warrior of Light. Nidhogg has not stirred, but he watches us, unblinking. The Elder Seedseer herself answers your call. Then there is naught to do but wait. They are here, Marks. Greetings, my friends. I am happy to report that our journey was mercifully uneventful, devoid as the road was of Dravanians. It would seem the dragons have abandoned Samal for the churning mists. Elder Seedseer, may I present to you Sir Estinian, Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. 'Tis an honor to meet you, Sir Estinian. I have heard many tales of your order's extraordinary skill and courage. Friends, I feel it only right to inform you that we are not alone. The Moogles are all around us even as we speak, and I should imagine they are more than a little concerned by the horde of strangers that had descended upon their home. Mayhap now would be an opportune moment to introduce ourselves. This should serve. They're hiding, of course, but there are so many of them, Kupo! I am Kane Senna. My companions and I have braved the long road from the Twelveswood to share words with you. On this, the occasion of our first meeting, we bring an offering of light and wind. And sound, apparently. Unless that counts as wind. Oh, such a gentle, pleasing glow, Kupo! Big Moogle! I am Moglin, the chieftain of this Moogle clan! Chieftain Moglin, it is an honor to meet you. Greetings! I'm Kuplokop, ambassador of the Twelveswood Moogles. A Moogle from the world below? Your hide is a different hue, but that palm is unmistakable. I may need a moment here, Kupo. My companions were no less surprised to learn of your existence here amongst the clouds. I hope they did not startle you overmuch in their eagerness to make your acquaintance. Full well can I imagine your wariness. I am told that men have not walked here in nigh on 1,000 winters. Mayhap you will forgive them their forwardness when I unfold to you the grave matter which first brought them into your midst. My companions crave an audience with the Great Wyrm Hraesvelgr, that they might negotiate an end to the war twixt man and dragon. An end to war, you say? I trust you, Kane Senna. The light of peace shines brightly within your soul. But I am afraid the same cannot be said for your friends. To be plain, we did not hide ourselves because they were the first of your kind to be seen here in 1,000 years. Well, not only because of that, we hid because we smelled dragon blood. These skies are home to many, many dragons. While some crave peace, such as Raysolga, many others crave the opposite, such as Nidhogg. Suffice it to say, we are worried that the presence of your blood-spattered warrior friends will attract the attention of the nastier kind and invite destruction into our happy home. Them's fighting words. Just a moment, chieftain. Moxie may have doled out the odd thrashing or two, but it has always been for a really good reason. He is the champion of the Twelveswood Moogles, and I will not hear his good name slandered. Now, Ambassador, let's not ruffle each other's fur. I shall, of course, take your testimony into consideration. If I may, chieftain, there is little room for trust twixt strangers. Might we not take this opportunity to learn more of each other? An excellent suggestion, Kupo. In the interests of fostering friendship and keeping an eye on you, I extend you the hospitality of Mogholm. Prove yourselves worthy of our assistance, and it will be yours. I shall be watching, Kupo, despite my eyes always being closed. I have really, really tiny eyes. Well, we've made our friends with the Moogles, or at least introduced. Tell me, in the world down below, do all your kind look so different from one another? It must be terribly disconcerting. What was it Kuplo Cop called you again? My name is Marks. Marks? Your names are as odd as your appearance. Have you ever considered a nice Moogle name? Moghan is taken, by the way, Kupo. Such as are Moghan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. These are being the names of the three wise Moogles who will administer the monumentous challenges that I have devised to measure your worth. I call them the Trials of Trustworthiness. Undertake these trials, and we shall soon see whether you are, or not you are worthy of our aid. Moghan's Trial. Moghan would test your trustworthiness with a trial. Hello, I am Moghan, foremost alchemist in Mogholm, if you must know. If your tummy's gloopy or your wings are droopy, I have a potion to fix that. Or I would if I didn't keep running out of ingredients. Luckily, you're here to do my trial, yes! Go forth, mighty adventurer, and mightily pluck 3 sprigs of cloud's breath for me. You'll find it blooming near the entrance of Eletom, or Iltom. It's not the safest of places, so don't let yourself be too distracted by the pretty flowers, Kupo. Okay, Eletom's right over here, so not that far. Quick and easy, not that difficult. Only my eyes work properly. Oh, there it is. Okay, I just gotta figure out where it would be. Oh, there it is. Back into Mogholm. did you have any trouble finding Cloud's Breath? I do need it quite urgently, you know. The lack of imagination has led to most white flowers found growing in the skybound regions of Zavania and Abanathia to be named after clouds. This light-petaled specimen being no exception. Ah, yes, these are perfect, Kupo. Now I have the main ingredient for my palm tonic. Speaking of which, how are you feeling, sir? Should you ever feel your palm losing its bounce, and then I'm your Moogle, Kupo. Oh, with a Mog Mug. First, let's see what we got. So exceedingly fluffy. How exciting to have relatives in the clouds, Kupo! Mogmug's trial. Mogmug would trust your trustworthiness was a trial. It's just gonna be that. Yes. You have the pleasure of speaking with Mogmug. I know. I am the fluffiest, most enchanting creature I've ever laid eyes upon, Kupo. It is not easy being this adorable. I can barely take a stroll outside without those relentless Dravanians throwing themselves at me. Why, they look as if they might just gobble me right up. In any case, fleeing their overbearing adulation is growing a bit tiresome. Your trial, sir, is this. Find these ardent archaeosaurs and slap some manners into them, Kupo. Perhaps a firm smack on the snout will teach them to appreciate my charm from afar. Whee! Oop, I made myself dizzy there. Okay. Just down here. At least it's not far. No, I'm not complaining. I can fly! Oh, the wonders of New Game Plus. Oh wow, you guys actually survived the first spin. You didn't, though. And all the way back. All this forward and backward stuff. You think this is Alexander 11 or something. You are able to humble my Dravanian devotees? Wonderful! You are as capable as I am captivating, Kupo. Still, my precious perfection does not excuse those louts from pursuing me so mercilessly. Tongues lolling and bellies rumbling. The Dravanians and their ilk have much to learn of acceptable acts of admiration. Mogwin's Trial. Mogwin is the name, and art is my game. When it comes to painting, there are none in Mogholm that can match my talent with the brush, Kupo. I know what you have come, why you have come. Chieftain Moglin has demanded that I test your trustworthiness, and as I test no one to create art that will satisfy me. But as I trust no one to create art that will satisfy me, I instead charge you with retrieving a masterpiece I seem to have misplaced. It was an ambitious and innovative work, guaranteed to fetch at least 4 Kupo nuts on the open market. You must find it. Question the masses. Surely a pebble painted with such vibrant color and unmistakable panache cannot have escaped the notice of every Moogle in Mogholm. I do not expect our travels to bring us to a Moogle village. I wonder if a similar settlement exists somewhere in the Twelveswood. Mogwin is missing his masterpiece, Kupo. Oh, you mean that paint-smeared mess of a pebble? I have not seen it recently, a fact for which my eyes are profoundly grateful. Maestro Mogwin has misplaced his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, happy day! If I am the swifter in finding it, I will soon have a genuine Mogwin for the price of a little perspiration. Perspiration. Ugh, I cannot read. Honestly, who has forced Koopa just lying around to spend on such luxuries? I mean, mine are carved. Does that count? Mogto. How much know about a stone? I do know Mogwin's been creeping out the back way of Sawmaw Summit from time to time. Yeah, Kupo. Maybe he left it up there. Well, what did you find, Kupo? Or what did you find out, Kupo? Ah, yes. Now that you mentioned it, I do seem to recall leaving my pebble out in the sun to dry. The second part of your trial commences. Go, adventurer. Retrieve my masterpiece before some art-starved admirer swipes the stone for himself. Nothing like some Moogle fetch quests. I cannot speak today. I can't even speak on other days. What am I complaining about? Yes, I will constantly keep using the regalia. I will never not use it. I love this thing too much. Well, except come Endwalker. The Fenrir has a built-in speed boost. Do you have it, Kupo? Is my masterpiece safe? An ordinary rock awash with extraordinary color. What that color represents, however, you cannot discern from any angle. Yes, this is my work. Is it not exquisite? I call it the Contemplations of Zenith. Thank you, sir. At last I can exchange my art for those delectable Kupo nuts. Chieftain Moglin will hear of this valorous deed. You've completed the trials of trustworthiness. Return to Chieftain Moglin and await his judgment. Oopsie daisy. Moglin's judgment. Chieftain Moglin is ready to pass judgment on your trial performance. Marx, if that is what you insist on calling yourself, you have completed the trials of trustworthiness administered by the taskmasters Moghan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. During these grueling tests of character, I closely observed your conduct as well as that of your companions. And I am decided, Kupo. Gather your friends before me now, so I need not repeat myself needlessly. Are these trials over then? My tasks have been little more than household chores. If our hosts elect not to grant us their aid after working us like pack chocobos, I shall demand compensation in Kupo nuts out of the principle. But I hope it will not come to that. Let us hear the chieftain's verdict, shall we? How go your trials, Warrior of Light? I myself have been sent on a number of expeditions to chastise the local dragon population. Did not their chieftain wish to avoid inflaming the Ravanians? Such contradictions aside, our hosts seem entranced by the height of my leap. They compared me to Mog, a lance-wielding Moogle warrior of Eld, who also favored such attacks. 'Twas meant as a compliment, I expect, but I doubt these furry lumps could outleap a Karakul lamb, much less a dragoon. Conclude your business here swiftly, Marks. I like not this place. Standing here in Mogholm, my thoughts turn inevitably to the legend of good King Mogulmog XII and his seat in the heavens. Like most, I thought it no more than a myth, a story for younglings that grew with the telling. But with every passing moment, I become more certain that we have discovered the origin of the tale. Full eager am I to hear what the chieftain has to say. We've become such friends, Kupo! My Moogle cousins love to sing and dance just as much as I do. Chieftain Moglin has finally come to a decision, has he? Well, I suppose I'd better flutter over and see him then. What sorcery is this? That my heart should stir at mere fluffiness. Marks, no matter. What is it? Chieftain Moglin has made his decision? Well, let us not keep him waiting then. And never have I seen such determined workers! Kupo, it would have taken us moons to complete all those dreary chores and nagging errands. And have our labors proven the purity of our intentions, chieftain? Without a doubt! In fact, there was never really all that much doubt to begin with. You were, after all, already friends with a fellow Moogle. But you see, before any meeting with Hraesvelgr could take place, certain preparations needed to be made, and what better way to help you pass the time than having you perform all the tiresome tasks that no one ever wants to do? Kupo? Oh dear, the horn! Bring out the horn, quickly now! We blow on this wondrous instrument whenever we wish to speak with the Great Wyrm, Kupo. We haven't perhaps been treating with the care it deserves of late, and I think Moghan may have sat on it, and we needed some time cleaning and polishing and straightening. No lasting harm done, though. Now you need simply head to Zenith, the Wyrm's dwelling to the west, and give the horn a good toot. We are in your debt, chieftain. Thanks to your noble gift, we shall finally have a chance to plead our case to Hraesvelgr. Yeah, very possibly, yes. But I would not get my hopes up too high, Kupo. The old worm isn't terribly fond of... Your concern is appreciated, but I'm quite certain that Hraesvelgr will welcome our overtures. Should we ever arrive at his lair? Come, we've squandered enough time already. Chieftain Moglin, we thank you for your gracious hospitality. Though we must soon take our leave, I pray that we may continue to nurture the shoots of this new-sprung friendship twixt earth and sky. Of course, Kupo! Visit us whenever you wish! Consider Mogholm your home amongst the clouds! Thanks for the help, Kupo. I doubt I would ever have found the time for all those rotten chores. It wasn't my idea. If the chieftain had spent a little less time sitting about and a little more time chieftaining, things would not have gotten so messy in the first place. And he was the one who sat on the horn, by the way. But now all the errands are done and the horn is fixed. So all's well that ends well, eh, Kupo? Leaving Mogholm. Mogholm is ready to lead you out of Mogholm. Moghan is ready to lead you out of Mogholm. Not Mogholm is ready to lead you out of Mogholm. Never mind. Well, I expect you're eager to be on your way. Did you mention your friend was looking for you, Kupo? If not, Alphino is looking for you. I'll be waiting just outside, stretching my wings. Let me know when you're ready to depart. To the best of my knowledge, we have all that we need for our trip to Zenith. And I believe the Elder Seedseer in her routine, her routine, is it routine or yeah, I'm gonna go with routine, will soon be making the journey back to Gdania. It would be remiss of us, I think, to not convey our gratitude to them prior to going our separate ways. Shall we? Alphino, Marks, I do humbly thank you for what has been a most enlightening experience. Were it not for your pioneering spirit, the existence of these Moogles might never have been revealed to us. 'Tis we who should be thankful, Elder Seedseer. Were it not for your timely diplomacy, they would never have chosen to reveal themselves at all. And 'twas your presence, Kuplokop, that ultimately won us their trust. It must have been a great courage to leave the sanctuary of the Twelveswood, and we are exceedingly glad that you did. It was my pleasure, Kupo. I've made so many new friends and so many new fantastic tales to tell my kinsmoogles back home. And it is to our home we must now return. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal, my friends. Safe journey, Elder Seetsier. We too must be on our way. Raisfelger awaits. Warrior of Light, pray attend closely to your companion, Sir Estinian. Beneath that stoical facade, a storm of anguish seethed unseen. It's not that far out. Have you said your goodbyes and dabbed away your tears, Kupo? Then we are indeed ready to go. The road to Zenith. Morghan has volunteered to lead you to Zenith. As Chieftain Moglin has already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Hraesvelger's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to Zenith. That's the big palace where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for Asa. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing. Gopo. Things were a bit bitey for a while there. I think we've arrived in one piece, Kupo. I wonder what has the dragons so awfully snappy. I mean, the bad ones are always bad. They seem worse than usual. Waiting for the wind to change. Morghan seems fretful about the weather. We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Hraesvelger invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you try blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then, we might as well make ourselves comfortable. If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. And mayhap a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear our minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well, then. Johnny. I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Kurthis. Clear our minds. 'Tis Master Alphonse whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if those ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow her marks, and see that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. Well, time to make sure Alphino don't get eaten. Also, hopefully get something to drink in a bit, because I'm yawning like all hell, and I'm not even tired. Oh, I'm gonna miss those big numbers, Command Walker. All this work to get the biggest and best numbers, and it's all gonna be gone away. Such is life. That moment when 6,000, just short of 7,000 damage can one-shot an enemy. I killed that poor thing several times over then. I see I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alphino returns with the wood, we shall see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what looked like stew ingredients, ready for the fire. took off my hat again. Where'd we get the rocks? Few things compare to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making. Ha! So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came with kindling and flint. 'Tis well you instructed me so patiently, then. But yes, after my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal Yazel with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlene dignitary, and alongside my twin, became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers, how ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal, and led to the downfall of the Scions. We are all of us guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives, never knowing what it is that they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. 'Twas only upon meeting Hraesvelgr that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for that chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See, expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth had driven me to do terrible things, I cannot deny, but I'd rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge. You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool swinging a spear, with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here, amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an egg existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragonsong War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for certainty that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hand resides the power to vanquish a Great Wyrm. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself, orders or no. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Arsehart. Convince Hraesvelgr of the righteousness of your cause. Doubt not that I shall, Dragoon. Well, wind's willing. We shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising sun. Heart of Ice. Moghan is gazing meaningfully at the path to Zenith. The campfire was so cozy! I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. Do you feel how the winds have shifted? They will have borne Hraesvelgr back to the skies above Zenith. I am sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot of that shiny horn. So, I'll be heading back now, if it's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you. So this is the place.
It is time, Warrior of Light.
Lend me resolve, Saint Shiva.
Time to use my bardic skills to our advantage for once.
God, this is a tiny horn. Just had to add that little Heavensward flourish myself. Dear God. It's a... Oh God. I've never actually seen the Neverending Story, but I wanted to say the dragon's name, and I've completely forgotten his name. Just gone like the wind. Anyway. The mighty worm, Gracefelger. Apparently he poked his eye out with a BB gun.
Gracefelger.
Oh God, when it comes to Draconians, I can never tell when it's like
finished. The
finished.
tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Gracefelger, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth. The truth about your past. About Shiva.
Ooh, touchy subject.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me. I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn.
Bahamut, if I had to hazard a guess. Actually, I don't have to hazard a guess.
Then the spirit that answered me.
Oof.
Be that as it may, Lord Gracefelger, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
Für eine Kino, losken stari strari dran, lar es nicht schnell. To hamaftan, feskedu for one istrasi, on lis esta ithon. Sai if in ned, or ratatoska, stray morn in. Seski man isna, kasea, tjenen ned moniken, eskian, Is lufta, sit strong and to in. This on is elna. Sit moni ratatoska nis ed, for always in dar. Kal eikmon thorn in Yui, ale fei in leita, borkin uskin in. San es shisnishka, stadrana moi. Snowdoan ki, ulteda maas murnish.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
Mixai eski lista in, non miki shisikin, kua ala aim el. Sai an ursina an thon nizeg. Non wo I alamon a. Skor esk mik I es. Nes so I an in, do in an, olodran.
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Sale, born I nesh I ratatoska kin for erna. Sith is nesh dekin an.
Then, the seed lies within us.
Is ros esh idran, oloson I nizeg, non nish I esk diedran en, wa ulwa skola es alakin andranken, mondo.
Ye gods! I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain!
It's a good thing they just have generic titles and not names, or I might actually feel bad about that.
War ulmon ala an as drao. Kawol smain kol sur thrahal seskmoni. Say an in Kilisek.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance. An eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
In ice in Draho. Ale inia in.
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Ja an. Lis as an in. En la tu ole ul in an hers isu. Mik du set in sohi. Nosta no lis as dui forfa in. Ka en isi a ultran as nisek for. En lai as nesh I an iratatoska. En sith son ishi eskfa ulgar los an. Snosk for an, non an lis I an. Skol ilens an. Skol.
Well, that ended about as well as it could possibly end. I already know a lot of this plot points. It's just been a long while since I actually replayed through them. So I'm not making... I guess I'm also trying not to, like, spoil for people who haven't played it, but I have played it, so I know a lot of this already coming in, so... What is this? What false god is this Shiva? What manner of phantom have I welcomed into my heart? As predicted, Iceheart's faith in the worm was misplaced, which leaves us with but one recourse. You know I have the right of it, Warrior of Light. Hraesvelgr was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dipped with power, the will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. It is but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the hairy heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truth we have learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. Well, I guess I'll just have to call it there for now. As always, I hope anyone watching is having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.